it helps me keep young. It helps me, forget about the craziness and the seriousness. Everything about my mom is great. Like when she cooks, I can relate to her. Yeah. I'm getting emotional right now.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Uninterrupted with me, David Mbeha. I am so thankful for all the support that we received on our first episode, the introductory video. Thank you so much for the subscription. Thank you so much for the comments. Thank you so much for the likes on YouTube. I am so excited for this episode because I am speaking to somebody that is not only an inspiration, but is somebody that has, is the epitome of resilience. She is an actress, she is a reality TV star, and a businesswoman, Dillish Mathews.
What's up, David?
That sounded like a very long intro, right?
No, it was okay. You did very well.
Yes. You know how I want to start? It's so funny. I don't think you remember the first time that we met, do you?
Was it at the DSTV?
No,
Where
it
was
wasn't. It was in a mall.
In the mall?
And I remember you, I think it was venue. And you
Okay.
were walking and I ran up to you and I asked for a picture.
Yes. Oh, you were a baby that time.
I
Oh my
was.
gosh.
You wouldn't
You were a
remember.
baby that time.
Yeah.
And I think that's when you freshly won also your TLC show, right?
I think I won the year after.
The year after. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
I
We're
was.
also proud of you. We're
Yeah.
also proud of you.
Thank you so much. So I think for me, I've always said that you're very, very special to me because we would watch you with my mom, my late mom, and she loved you. My mom, when you won, I have never seen her cry for someone like
Oh
that.
my gosh, that's so amazing.
Yeah.
That's my heart.
Yeah, I mean, I wish you could, I'm sure she's obviously gonna watch this episode from heaven, but it's such a full circle moment to have you and to, of course, inspire so many people with this episode. Um, to kickstart the show, I just want to know, how has life been lately?
Life's been great, I do go through the challenges. There's been ups, there's been downs, happy
Yeah.
moments, lots of traveling, fun times, achievements. Life's been great. I really can't complain. I'm so blessed.
Yeah. I think you live such a busy life, but the one thing that I really love about you is that you've never allowed fame to sort of change who you are. Like when we watch your videos, we still get the same goofy person that you showed us in Big Brother. And I think you just also carry a lot of the inner child in you.
Oh, yeah.
I think you always allow the inner child in you to come out. How do you stay consistent to who you are?
I mean, it's a no-brainer. It is who I am. That's the way I was programmed.
Yeah.
I'm keeping my inner child alive because it helps me keep young. It helps me, forget about the craziness and the seriousness of the world. I mean, I do have my adult issues, but I love being playful, goofy. That's how everyone in my family is. Even my own mother is a goofball, so I just hold on to that, and I think that's what keeps me happier and keeps me going. Like really, it adds a lot of positivity into my life. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that is amazing. Talking about your family, how did you grow up? Like for somebody who was to meet you and you had to give them an introduction of how you grow up, what would you say?
I grew up in a very loving home. I grew up with my grandfather. My mom was around, but then she had her own thing to do. My mom had me at a very young age. So I grew up with my grandfather and then later with my auntie and my uncle. I had a very good childhood. I really can't complain. I was well taken care of. We had our issues. There was financial issues, and then it was good, and it was bad, as a lot of black families go through over here. But I had a great childhood. I schooled here, and I schooled a little bit in South Africa as well. I went to university, and then from university, we all know that I dropped out to go to Big Brother. Very calculated, but don't do it, guys. Don't do it. Stay in school.
But they always say that, the bigger the risk, the greater the reward.
I'm telling
So
you.
I think it's one of those things where every time you take a risk, life sorts of also meets you at the level where you're willing to play.
I'm telling you.
Yeah. But you studied something that I think a lot of people wouldn't be able to connect you to, which is psychology. Yeah. So, I mean, I know that you, of course, dropped out, but what did you learn in that time that you still feel like keeps you sane? Life can get very hard and something that you still go back to and say, I'm so thankful that I took those few classes
Yeah.
and it still helps you.
Yeah, year 3. I dropped out in my 3rd year. I learned a lot about human behavior. I think that's why I have such great people skills. I mean, I understand people. I'm not really the one to judge you or fight you or write you off. I try to understand my family, my friends, people around me, how I interact in the work environment when I have to go for meetings. I learned not to take everything so personally. I also learned to control my emotions, get out of my head when I'm feeling like I'm not doing enough or I'm doing too much. I could relate to some of those stuff that I started in school, but I'm very grateful that I had that little chapter in my life.
So do you ever feel like you're not doing enough? Because for me, it feels like you're constantly doing so much. Does it ever feel like, and what is it, how do you handle those moments where you feel like you're not doing too much? And does it come as a result of you feeling like you have a lot of goals that you're not reaching?
I am a little overdoer. I want too much at once. There was a time I had like 7 businesses. I was losing my mind. I don't know where this drive came from. I just want to do so much and I just want to get there and be there. But as I've grown older, I've slowed down. I don't invest in so many things anymore. Like in the past, I used to have 2 nightclubs and 1 restaurant and a bar here. And I just stopped because I was driving myself insane. So of course I do feel like I'm not doing enough. You always compare yourself to other. I'm 32 now. So I obviously compare myself to other 32-year-olds in other countries, and I'm just like, whoa, slow down.
That is insane. I would never think of that.
It's insane, but there's a time and place for everything. There's a time for everything. So I've gotten out of my head, like I said, and I'm just so much happier right now.
Business is not the easiest to start. It's not the easiest to maintain. And, how did you decide to go into business, your first business? Was that an easy decision and maintaining that business?
So that comes from my childhood. So my grandfather was an entrepreneur. We had a little cooker shop at home. So we used to have a tuck shop at home and we'd sell like sugar and this little, the normal essentials, home essentials. And I'd help him sell. Like the kids would come to the window and I'd give like lollipops or whatever, onions. So I saw it from there. So was my grandmother. She was an entrepreneur as well. So she used to sell her wooden crafts in town, Post Street Mall. So it's just in the family. So from there I just decided that, okay, this is what I want to do as well. I'm going to buy and resell, or I'm going to provide a service or whatever. So it just naturally came into me. I think it's in my blood.
So when you look back now, what has business taught you about yourself?
Tons of resilience. Be patient. Be very patient. No risk, no gain. And I've grown so much stronger. I used to be such a sissy. But now I'm a little tough. I'm a tough cookie.
So because everyone wants to start a business because they feel like then you are more independent. Would you agree it's the same?
Yeah, I mean, that's the best way to become a millionaire. I mean, if you have a job and your boss fires you, you're one step close to being poor. I mean, it's great independence. You can make more money. And you have to do something you really love. You can't just copy and paste other people's ideas like, oh, everyone's doing Tinders, I have to go into that field as well. You have to really do what you love, and then it doesn't feel like you're working, like everyone says. So you really have to just go for what you want. Make sure you have enough, do enough research, have enough money. Or sometimes you don't need money. You can borrow money from friends and make money. So just be prepared.
There's a video of you that I saw where you said that you no longer talk about the kind of businesses that you have because you feel like the moment people find out that, oh, you own that business, then they stop supporting that business.
I'm telling you, it's been crazy. They see you in Dubai, they're like, yeah, it's because I went to buy Coca-Cola at her place. And I've just stopped cracking my eggs before they hatch. Certain things you must keep to yourself, and these are things I've learned with growing in the industry and in business as well. So now I just don't tell people what I do. I just tell them, I just post on Instagram or if I have to.
What do you think is people's perception when they, you obviously own businesses and sometimes you probably travel to Dubai either for holiday or business. But do you think that is always people's perception when they see you in Dubai? Do they feel like you're probably there to see a boyfriend?
Of course, it comes with the image is just like a pretty girl definitely having a boyfriend there. But I actually do go sometimes alone to a country. You go to your friends, you go in the group chat, like, guys, let's plan on holiday. And no one makes it out of the group chat. And you already bought your tickets. So I'm not going to stay behind because no one's joining me.
Yeah.
I'm going alone, and I don't care what people think. Whether I'm with somebody or not, it's none of their business.
Yeah, so you feel like it's always a narrative that is pushed on a lot of people because you meet the standard, you're beautiful, you're that, you can't really run your own business, and it has to always be linked to you seeing a man or a man paying for you to go somewhere, which is not the case. And I remember you mentioned that when you won your first, I mean, the 300,000 US dollars, you said that you kept a portion of that money for over a year.
Yes. I mean, I hardly started using my money. It took probably a year because remember there were courtesy calls I did, and when you go visit governors, etc., they do give you tokens of appreciation. I had endorsement deals immediately when I got out of the house. I had club appearances. Back then, we used to charge 5,000 US dollars for club appearances, and we used to have that back to back. So I didn't need to use my money for a long, long while. Yeah. So.
Why did you decide to stay in Namibia? I mean, when you won, I'm sure there were many opportunities to live anywhere in the world. What is it that made you decide to stay back home?
I love my country too much.
What do you love?
Plain and simple, I love how empty the country is. I love how beautiful,
and the traffic isn't too hectic.
It's organized. I just love everything about my country. I love how there's so many different cultures, and yet we still blend in.
Yeah.
I can't see myself living anywhere else. I cannot. I can go for a little bit and get homesick wherever I go. Yeah. But when I'm home, I just feel like I love Namibia too much. I can't live anywhere else.
Yeah, I remember when I came back from SA, I said, finally you can drive and you can actually, you don't have to be scared that somebody is gonna like hijack you and stuff, because it's honestly isn't that hectic. You know, you drive and you subconsciously don't have this thing of like somebody might walk up to me with a gun. So I think that's one of the things that I really do appreciate about
we have a great country.
We do. Yeah. So let's talk about, the kind of fame that you obviously garnered from Big Brother Africa. Did you ever think, I mean, it's been, I don't know, over 10 years now since you last...
2022. Yeah, it's going to be 10 years, I think.
It's going to be 10 years? Yeah. Okay. So, did you think that you would have the kind of fame and still be able to maintain it to close to a decade?
I mean, I didn't enter Big Brother to become famous.
Yeah.
I'm an introvert. I actually don't want so much attention on me. That's what I didn't want.
Yeah.
I just wanted money.
Okay, I just wanted the money.
Okay, and it so happened to work in my favor.
Yeah.
So I don't know, I'm not doing anything special, but somehow people still love me and remember me, and I'm so grateful for that. Yeah. It's not just here. Like, when was it? Earlier this year, I went to an African country, and the lady at the passport control said Dillish before I gave her my passport. And I'm like, how do people still remember me after all this time? But like my mom always says, it's a permanent crown I have over me. Yeah. And also just your personality.
It's like a halo that
it's just there. And I think people can see through me that it's genuinely just, this person is genuinely just herself. I'm not pretending to have this or that. I'm not pretending to be somebody else. I'm relatable, and people just probably feel like Dillish feels like home. Yeah,
and you truly do feel like home. I mean, the few times that I've interacted with you, I've always felt, the warm embrace being in your surrounding. Yeah. So, talking back again about fame, there's sometimes people say that when you are born to be famous, you always know it. You might not know when it's going to happen, but it's always in you. You just know that it's not in the form of I'm meant to be famous, but I am special, and I know that I carry something special, and I know there's something in me that deserves to be seen by the world. Yeah. Did you ever feel like that growing up?
Yeah, not to say, I'm saying this in the most humble way, I'm not being arrogant or anything, but like, I always had this little popularity around me. In primary school, like I went to Afrikaans school, Pioneersburg Primary, we were like 4 black kids in the class, but I was popular amongst my teachers. I even became library prefect there, and in university, I was just popular for I don't know what, popularity was always there. Yeah. And I always just told myself, I think I'm going to be a celebrity one day. Yeah. And here I am today.
So you spoke it into existence somehow.
I think I spoke it into existence, and people just always, when they saw me, when I walk into a room, I always demanded attention. Yeah. Unprovokedly. So I was just go with the flow, and here I am today.
Yeah. So are you always aware of that, the kind of halo that you have, and are you also a bit strategic in terms of how you use it?
Not really. Like I said, I don't want the attention anymore. It's too much.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously, I'm
It's
still
like,
judging.
put it away.
Yeah, I'm done with it now. I'm
Yeah.
older now. It's over now. But
Yeah.
yeah, of course, I do use it to my advantage. You know, I've used it very correctly. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think when you say I've used it correctly, I think I would like to say that you're at a point in your life where I think you're very supportive of other people that are coming up in terms of helping them.
Oh yeah.
And am I correct in saying that?
Yes, definitely. I'm supporting. We want to see new faces on the market. You know, we understand that the OGs are there, etc., etc. But we want to see new faces, and we're supporting them. And
Yeah.
I'm all for it. I mean, I'm willing to help wherever I can.
Yeah. What parts of your mom do you see in yourself now? Do you sometimes look at her and be like, that sounds like me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Everything about my mom is great. Like when she cooks, I can relate to her.
Yeah.
Wow, there's just so many things. I'm getting emotional right now.
Really?
I feel so bad for judging her when I was younger. I just didn't understand, you know, having 5 kids and doing it on your own. Because all my siblings' dad passed on, so it was all that pressure on her.
Yeah.
You know, and I was just saying things when I was younger, and now
Yeah.
I'm older. I'm just like, man, she was also just trying.
Yeah.
She was so young, 19 when she had me.
Yeah.
She was also just trying to get through life and trying to give us what we needed. So yeah. Yeah,
that is amazing. And I think, you know, the one thing about you is in every video that I see of you, you always value family. And that's not only to say family by blood, but just even those that are just naturally an extension of you. I think you always take them in and you create that family bond. Yes. Where did that come from, the love for family?
I mean, it's also the environment I grew up in. Like I said, I grew up in a very loving family. So whether we were bonded by blood or not, I used to see my grandfather help my neighbors, his neighbors. You know, when he'd cook, he would also share with the neighbors, the children, all of us would come eat together. Yeah. And that's just how I am with my friends, my neighbors, their kids. It's just, it feels like we're one big happy family. Yeah. And I don't discriminate. I love everybody. Yeah. Okay, going back again to fame, you know, there's this saying that heavy is the head that weighs the crown. I mean, with so much fame comes a lot of criticism as well. How do you handle those, I mean, being in the media space when someone says something about you or be it a publication? How do you handle that? I think I've gotten so used to it. It's been 10 years. And gossip has always been around, and what people think about me is none of my business. Yeah. I ignore it. Don't you think it elevates you more? Yeah, I don't have to pay for publicity. Can you imagine? They're keeping me in the loop, so I'm not really bothered about it. If I let that stuff get to my head, oh my gosh, I'll be gone by now. Yeah. Because there's been so much around me. I don't know, there was so much hate in them, especially when I want Big Brother. Twitter streets were always killing me. Yeah. I'm like, what did I do, guys? Yeah. And isn't it weird because at first you think everybody should be loving me. I don't think I did anything wrong to anyone. And then, so when you see those first few comments that are not in favor of you, does that teach you to shy away from praise because eventually you get killed by the criticism? Oh no, I take my compliments. People congratulate me, people clap for me, I embrace it, I'm grateful for it. People want to fight me, I don't entertain them because I don't have to. Yeah. Yeah, but sometimes, you know, I do lose my mind, and when I see them face to face, it sometimes goes down. Yeah. I'm kidding, I don't fight. Do you think that there's a huge interest when it comes to your relationship? I mean, around Africa, to be just specific. In terms of who are you dating or are you gonna date next? Do you think there's like it's almost like watching a soapy and wanting to see what will happen next? Yeah, I think people are just curious about your personal life, and all my relationships were quite public. Okay. The 2 that people know of. Yeah. There's only been 2. Because people are curious, they want to know, like, is she gonna get married? Does she want to have kids? Is she seeing anyone right now? I think it's pretty normal for them to just want to know about my private life, but I'm currently single. I'm going to stay single for a very long time right now. And what has this period of you being single taught you about yourself? Because you said you started dating when you were probably like 19. So 19. Yeah. Right after high school. Yeah. So what has this taught you about singlehood? What has it taught you about yourself? Yeah, this is the first time I've been single this long, because after the 19, I've always just been in long-term relationship, 5 years, 3 years. So This is the first time I'm just on my own. I'm enjoying my company, knowing that I can actually do it on my own. I depend on myself.
Yeah.
If something is broken in the house, I know who to call. I do it myself. Back then I was so relaxed and like, oh, I can't do it on my own or I can't be alone. But now I'm just so much happier. I work on my terms. I do what I want to do, go where I want to go, stay out, eat what I want to eat.
Yeah.
I'm happy.
You probably, if you should get into a relationship, you'd forget the text. Oh, I'm somewhere.
I know, right?
Like it's so
Because I'm
used
waiting
to
too long.
just picking up and going.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you've been obviously in relationships for, you said since 19, you've constantly been in and out of relationships. What do you think that you were seeking in those relationships that you feel like I finally found it?
I'm not sure. It's the guys that were more persistent actually. I didn't want to date, but they were persistent and I'm like, okay, why not? That was good. But now I carefully choose my companions. Right now I'm not looking for anyone. I don't think finding a partner is my journey. It's part of my journey.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people feel like you should do it systematically, finish school, get married, have kids. But that's not my journey. It's part of my journey. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. So I wasn't seeking anything in men. I was just enjoying my time, being young, enjoying the kisses, and that's it.
Yeah. I mean, it feels like you are at a place where you are empowered enough and it's okay to be alone. And a lot of people struggle with that because they feel like I constantly need to be with someone and life is fun. Of course it is fun, but I think to get to that point in your life where you are empowered is really something special. But I just wanted to also talk a little bit in terms of your father. Of course, there was big headlines after you won about him and all that. Are you still in touch?
Yeah, my dad's great. I'm getting to know him. We talk every day on WhatsApp. We're not super close, but I'm getting to know him, and I'm just grateful for that. All I ever wanted to know was what the man looks like. They lost contact with my mom due to the distance, and he worked for UNTAG, and she was here. Communication wasn't great back then, but I'm just so happy I got to meet him. And I speak to him, I hear his voice, and that's it.
What has that relationship done for you when you look back now?
I feel fulfilled. Like it's come full circle. Now I know what my mom and dad looks like and why I look this way and why my mom is so chatty and I'm quiet sometimes. I only talk to myself. That's why I can do what I do on Instagram. But when I'm with people, I can't. I'm so quiet. But it's just, everything's just come full circle and I just feel like now I know who I am.
And that's really beautiful. Another thing that is really special to you are your siblings. I mean, there was one time I saw you were shopping for them and that bill was very, very, what would we say, hefty. It was a lot of money. So when it comes to like spending money, how do you, because I feel like I have that thing where I would buy something and I really enjoy it in the moment and I get home and I'm like, did I really need this? So what kind of person are you when it comes to like buying stuff?
It used to be crazy back then. I used to buy a lot of stuff. Like now in my room, there's just stuff. There's too many shoes, it's just unnecessary stuff. And the older I get, the more I want to get rid of the stuff, I use my money more for traveling now. Experiences over stuff, materialistic things have become so boring now. I mean, I've got it all. From having just a couple of pair of shoes from being a kid to having over 200 pairs of shoes now. I've already done it. I've proved to myself that I can get it. I'm done with splurging like that now. That's why I'm very comfortable with spending it on my siblings because I know they want their swagger on. That's why I don't mind taking care of them. But on myself, I rather splurge it now on traveling, fly business class or first class. I just love experiencing the world now.
What is the beauty of traveling first class that you feel like everyone needs to experience?
The comfortability. The comfortability and the luxury. I mean, sitting back in cabin, I mean, you squeeze and I think everyone should at least fly business or first class once in their lifetime. Once you do it, you'll never want to sit in economy again.
Never.
There's nothing wrong with economy. That's where we all started. But if you can experience that, you're doing something very special for yourself.
What is the one country that you've been to when you look back, you're like, that was a dream come true?
I think, where was it? I think it was Dubai the first time ever.
You love Dubai.
Yeah, how I stumbled. I mean, it's so futuristic.
Yeah.
I think it's Dubai and Hong Kong and Shanghai, those three countries. But Dubai is mostly on my top of my list. I mean, it's so clean.
Yeah.
It's so advanced. It's so beautiful. The skyscrapers, the food, the luxury, the comfort. I just can't get enough of it.
Yeah.
So I've been to Dubai more than 10 times now in my life.
Yeah.
I just love it, and I'm gonna keep going. I was there in January just now.
Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna go again, and I'll keep going.
Yeah.
And hopefully I'll get more money to keep going there.
Yeah. What are some of the stuff that you have at the back of your mind where you're like, I still want to achieve that? Because when we look at you, it looks like you have achieved almost everything. Yeah. What is the one thing that you still have on your, whether it's a bucket list or something that you just want to achieve in life?
Yeah. Most importantly right now is giving back to my community. I always told people that I want to have a soup kitchen or orphanage of some sort. So that is definitely on my bucket list. Before I leave this planet, I have to have the Dillish Mathews soup kitchen or some type of, I love children so much. So if I'm not going to have kids, then I want to take care of all the kids that I can. So that is on my list actually.
Yeah, I mean, you naturally, of course, love children, and it would make sense, to have an orphanage. But I also want to ask, do you sometimes envision yourself having one?
I don't know anymore. When I was younger, in my 20s, yes, I used to dream about babies all the time. I used to post babies all the time. But now that I'm getting older, I don't know. It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
And it's choosing a perfect partner to share that with.
Yeah.
To continue your bloodline is not easy anymore, People have hidden agendas these days, so I don't know. What happens, happens.
Yeah, whatever happens, happens. And lastly, I think, how would you like to be remembered? Of course, you're still quite young, but long after you're gone, I mean, a million years from now, when people think of Dillish Mathews, what would you like to come to mind?
Nothing hectic. I just want to be known as someone who made people smile, who made people happy, who was helpful, who was funny.
Yeah.
Hardworking, hardworking, that's it. Nothing hectic. I don't want to be a philosopher right now. It's just, as long as I put a smile on someone's face, I feel like I've achieved something.
Yeah, that is amazing. Thank you so much for this session. It's been really amazing having to chat to you, and of course finding out more life, because it get really hard, and what we like to talk about on this show is the platform for us to really feel like success can be tangible, because sometimes we're so disconnected. It feels like, no, I mean, Dillish achieved it, but it would take a million years for me to ever get to where she is. So any inspiration, any motivational words that you'd say to somebody like that who feels like they'll never get to where you are?
Yeah, there's no such thing as never. I mean, if you really just believe in yourself, invest in yourself, you have to really believe that it's possible. Because a lot of things are achievable. Actually, anything is achievable if you believe it. Dedicate, like they always say, 6 months to yourself, consistency. Stay away from your friends, the drinking, the partying. Really focus on yourself for 6 months. I'm sure you will see a change in a year or within 2 years. So anything is possible. You just have to dream big and really dream big.
Yeah. What are you most proud of?
I am mostly proud of what I've done for my family. Seeing my siblings and where they are now. They used to be babies and now they've grown up, and I'm just happy that seeing them happy and seeing that everything is fine. Things I used to worry about, I don't have to worry anymore. Like everything just worked out great.
Yeah. And lastly, what brings you joy?
What brings me joy? Family and friends.
Yeah,
that's it. I've got a big spirit of Ubuntu. So family and friends brings me joy, brings me comfort.
It's been so amazing talking to you, and thank you so much.
David.
Uninterrupted.
Thank you, David. Thank you for having me.
Lovely. Thank you for being here.